Hello students, this is Sandeep sir here from Vijay Tutorial, Kengri Satellite Town, Bangalore. Here admission is open for the offline and online classes. If anyone of you are interested, please contact me at this number 8050 Okay. So here in this video, I'm going to explain you one very important topics, light, okay, which is there for 8th standard CBSE. Now, what is a light? So light is a form of energy which includes the sensation of vision in our eyes and make us able to see various things present in our surroundings. Okay, so light we can light is generally a form of energy which enables us to see any object. So what happens when light falls on an object, some part of light is reflected back to our eyes, then we are able to see an object because light being reflected from the object is reaching to our eyes only. Okay, so there are some properties of light. Okay, like it is a form of energy. Second property is it travels in a straight line. Third property, it can form shadows. Okay, so these are the general properties of light which you should know. Next, we'll study the laws of reflection. Generally, there are two laws of reflection. Okay, so here in this video, you can see one light is falling on this surface. This is a plane surface. Consider this as a plane mirror. Let one light is incident here, so it will reflect back like this. This phenomenon of bouncing back of light ray after striking a solid surface is called as reflection. Okay, this is called as reflection. See, the light which actually falls on the surface is called as incident ray, and the light ray which bounces back from the surface is called as reflected ray. If you draw a 90-degree at this point is called as point of incidence, then it is called as normal. See, the angle made by incident ray and this normal is called as what? Angle of incidence. Okay. Similarly, the angle made by reflected ray and the normal is called as angle of reflection. So there are two laws of reflection. Okay. First law is what? The angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Angle I is equal to angle R. Okay. Second law is there. The incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. Okay. Now you should also know the characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. Okay. So what type of image is formed by a plane mirror? We'll see. Generally, the image formed by the plane mirror is a behind the mirror. Okay. It is forming virtual image. Image formed by a plane mirror is a virtual image, which means it cannot be obtained on the screen. And image is erect and laterally inverted. So you can see, you can understand like this also. Suppose this is a plane mirror, one object is here, AB at a distance D naught. So image is formed behind the mirror here. Okay. B dash, A dash is the image formed, and distance of image behind the mirror will be equal to what? Distance of object in front of it. Okay. Similarly, if the height of object is h naught and height of image is hi, so height of image is equal to height of object. It means what? Image is of same shape and size. Okay, so image size is equal to the object size. And fifth, you can see here, distance of object from the mirror is equal to distance of image from the mirror. So di is equal to d naught. Okay. Distance of object and the image is the same from the mirror. Next, we have to study about the types of reflection. There are generally two types of reflection. One is regular reflection, other is irregular reflection. Okay. So what happens in irregular reflections? When the reflection surface is a smooth, this takes place from the smooth surface or plane surface. It's a plane surface or a smooth surface or even surface also we can say. So when parallel beam of light ray falls on the smooth surface, the reflected lights are also parallel. Such type of reflection is called as regular reflection. Okay, so you can see here, When the reflection surface is a smooth and well polished, the parallel rays falling on it are parallel to one another, and the reflected light goes in one particular direction and also parallel to each other. This is a regular reflection. Example, reflection through plane mirror, reflection from a still water. Next, we can see about the diffuse reflection, also called as irregular reflection. Diffuse reflections or irregular reflections. See, such type of reflections takes place through the diffused surface. Okay, or this surface is what? Uneven surface. This is uneven surface, or also called as rough surface. So you can see when parallel beam of light ray falls on a rough surface, the reflected lights are not parallel. Okay, you can see. So such a reflection is called as diffused or parallel reflection. Oh, sorry, diffused or irregular reflection. See, what is written? When the reflecting surface is rough, the parallel rays falling on it are reflected in different direction. Such a reflections is known as diffuse or irregular reflection. For example, reflection of light from a wall of a room or a tree. Is it clear? See, next topic is multiple images. See, when we keep two plane mirrors at certain angles, so there will be number of images will be formed. So we can calculate the number of images by a formula. Number of images n is equal to what? 360 by the angle at which they are kept -1. Okay. For example, if the two mirrors are kept at a, if angle between the two mirror is suppose given 90 so how many images will be formed? That is n is equal to 360 upon 90 -1. So 9 cancel, 9 1 ja, 9 4 ja. So 4 - 1, that is equal to 3. Okay, so similarly we can find a see, when the two images, when the two mirrors are plane mirrors are kept parallel. Okay, when the two mirrors are kept parallel, in this angle theta is equal to 0, means theta is nothing but angle. So number of images is what? 360 upon 0 minus 1. 360, anything minus 0 is what? Not defined. Not defined minus 1 is what? Not defined. So infinite images are formed when the two mirrors are kept parallel to each other. You can see here, if two given mirrors are at right angles to each other, 3 images will be obtained, as I explained here. Okay, even if the given mirrors are at angle 60 so if you substitute here, n is equal to 360 by 60 minus 1. So 0 get cancelled. 6 1 ja, 6 6 ja. So 6 minus 1 is what? 5. So number of images formed will be what? 5. Am I clear? When the two mirrors are kept outside, sorry, opposite and parallel to each other. Okay, so we will get infinite number of images, as in this case. Okay, you can see. Now, next concepts we have to study in the syllabus is kaleidoscope. So you can see kaleidoscope, the idea of a number of images formed by a mirror placed at an angle to one another is used in a kaleidoscope to make numerous beautiful pattern. To make a kaleidoscope, get 3 rectangular mirrors strips and about 15 centimeter long, 4 centimeter wide each, and join them together to form a prism. Okay, you can see this is a prism. Fix them in a circular cardboard tube or tube of a thick chart paper. So you can see this is an example of kaleidoscope where we can see numerous beautiful patterns. Okay. Next concepts in your syllabus is about the human eye. Okay, we can see a diagram of human eye is there, in which there are some parts of eye, which first I would like to point it out. This is a retina. Retina is a layer in the eye, okay, where the image is formed. Okay, so here is a convex lens. Okay, convex lens is bonded to the eye with the help of ciliary muscles. You can see these are the ciliary muscles, and you can see here this is iris. Okay, so iris is actually controlling the amount of light into the eye, and this portion from where the light is entering into the eye, that is called as pupil. Okay, and this is the cornea. Okay, this is the cornea of the eye. Okay, here the optic nerves are there, which is connected to the brain. Okay, now we'll study about the different parts of eye. First is what? Cornea. It is located at the front portion of the eye. It is transparent window that bulges outwards and responsible for the maximum refraction, that is bending of light that enters the eye. Okay, so this part is what? Cornea. Iris. It is a thin circular colored part structure. It works like a shutter of the eye. It controls the amount of light entering into the eye. Next, pupil. It is a adjustable circular opening that is located at the center of the iris. Light enters into the eye through the pupil. When the light amount is high, iris contracts and allows less light into the eye. Similarly, when the light amount is low, iris dilates and allows more light into the eye. Is it clear? Next, lenses. It is a made up of jelly transparent material and it is a biconvex structure. It is present behind the pupil. The size and the thickness of lens changes as per the distance of the object by the ciliary muscles. And this is the ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length. This is also called as power of accommodation. Power of accommodation. Okay.
Recording.
Yeah, once again. So power of accommodation. Okay, so power of accommodation is nothing but it is the ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length. This property is called as power of accommodation, so that I can see the nearby objects, distant objects clearly. Okay. Next, retina. The screen of the eye is referred to as retina because the light rays comes through the pupil, passes through the lens and converges on a screen called as retina. Retina is the light sensitive, okay, inner lining of the back of the eye. So retina contains several nerve cells. Okay, there are two types of cells are there. One is rods and cone cells. So cone cells which are sensitive to the bright lights and sense the color. Okay, whereas the rod cells which are sensitive to the dim lights. Next, we talk about the optic nerves. It is located at the back of the eye. Optic nerves are bundle of over 1 million nerves fiber that carry visual messages from the retina to the brain. Okay, so these are very important. Optic nerves. Blind spot. It is the small region where the optic nerves and the retina meet. It has no sensory cells. Okay, hence no image is formed at this point or this spot on the retina. Okay. Next, when we talk about the working of eye, it's very easy. Okay, so light reflects off from the objects and enters the eyeball. Okay, that is a lens through a transparent layer of the tissue at the front of the eye, that is called as cornea. Okay, and the cornea bends the light rays through the pupil and the dark opening in the center of the colored portions of the eye. And the adjusted light passes through the eye's natural crystalline lens. Okay, and the eye lens converges all the light rays on the retina and the image is formed on the retina. How is the image? It is a real image, a smaller and inverted image. Okay, and the retina converts these light rays into the electrical signals, okay, that are relayed to the brain via optic nerves, and the brain processes the information it receives so that in turn we can see. Okay. Next, you should also know about the persistence of vision. Okay, the impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. An image persists there for about 1/16th of a second. This feature is called as persistence of vision. Okay, so if still images of moving objects are flashed on the eye at a rate faster than 16 per second, then the eye perceives this object as moving. Okay, so this principle is used to in movies and all, so that the images in the movies can remain in our mind for a long time. Okay. Example, due to this persistence of vision, when we see many still images in a sequence, they give the illusions of moving object images. Movies and animations are made by exploiting this property of human eye. So eye is very important organ. Okay, now so we have to take care of eye. How we can take care of eye? You see, care of eyes. Eyes are very important sense organs and they are sensitive to all. It is necessary to take proper care of your eyes. Some points for care of eyes are as follow. So we can see if there is any problem, you should go to an eye specialist first thing. Okay, if there is any problem in the eye, you must contact eye specialist. Second, too bright or too dim light is bad for eyes. So insufficient light causes eye strain or maybe headache. Do not look at the sun or a powerful light directly. Never rub your eyes. If particles of dust go into your eyes, wash your eyes with clean water. If there is no improvement, go to a doctor. Always read book and newspaper at the normal distance for vision. Okay, so do not read bringing your book too close to your eyes or keeping it too far. Okay, so we have to, in this way we can take care of your take care of our eyes. Okay, see, generally there are some defects in the vision. Okay, persons generally suffer from these three defects of vision. One is what? Myopia, hypermetropia, and cataract. What happens in myopia? Generally, a person suffering from myopia can see the nearby objects clearly, but distant objects appears blurred to him. Okay. So what happens actually in myopia? The image is formed in front of retina. Okay, image from the distant object is formed in front of retina, so image becomes blurred. Okay, so a person with myopia can see nearby objects clearly while distant objects appear blurred. So this disease is also called as short-sightedness. Okay, or near-sightedness, because in seeing the near objects there is no problems. That's why it is near-sightedness. Okay, spectacles with convex lens can improve the spectacles with the concave lens can improve the vision of myopic person. Okay, because concave lens is what? A diverging lens, so it will diverge the light to the retina. Next, when we talk about the hypermetropia, so generally what happens, a person with hypermetropia can see distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects distinctly. Nearby objects appear blurred to him. What happens actually in this case? In hypermetropia, the image of the object is formed behind the retina. Okay, and so spectacles with the concave lens can improve this vision in a hypermetropic person. Okay, so here I would like to focus. Here you can see here myopic eye. Okay, so myopic eye, what happens? Distant object is there, distant object. So light is coming from the distant object. Generally, light rays enters parallel to the parallelly. So here image is formed. This is actually retina. Image should form at retina, but light ray is meeting in front of retina. So the object the image appears blurred. Okay, so in case of myopic eye, in hypermetropic eye, what happens? Okay, nearby objects appear blurred. So light ray is going. Two light rays I have shown. So light ray is entering into the eye lens. They are meeting behind the retina. Okay, it will converge behind the retina. Okay, so here image is formed. So if you want to rectify this myopic eye, okay, so what we have to do is you have to use a diverging lens. This is a concave lens. Okay, so here light ray will first enter into this concave, pass through the concave lens. It will diverge, and after refraction through the lens, it will exactly meet at the retina. Okay, similarly here in case of hypermetropic eye, we are using convex lens. What is a convex lens we are using? So light ray is entering into the through the convex lens first, then it will converge. Okay, after that when it is passing through the eye lens, it is meeting at the retina. So we can correct this myopic eye with the help of a convex lens, concave lens, and hypermetropic eye with the help of a convex lens. Okay, one more disease of the eye is there, defects of vision, that is a cataract. So you can see here about cataract. So during old age, the crystalline lens becomes milky and cloudy in a cataract patient, and thus the person cannot see clearly. Cataract is treated by a surgery. In cataract surgery, the cloudy lens is removed and the artificial lens is transplanted in the eye. In this way, this visions can be rectified, cataract. Okay, so actually for visually challenged persons, some people including children face with disability of visions, this disability of visions can be partial or complete. Such persons are called visually challenged persons. Visually challenged persons usually show marked development of other senses. Okay, like sense of hearing, sense of touch, However, additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. Resources can be of two types. One is non-optical, other is a optical aids. When we talk about optical aids helps a person who is partially visually challenged. So these aids enlarge an image or a text so that they would be visible. Bifocal lenses, okay, contact lenses, tinted lenses, magnifiers, and telescopic aids. Magnifying devices and telescopic devices can come under this category. When we talk about the non-optical aids help a person who is completely visually challenged. Non-optical aids include visual aids like magnifying words, tactual aids using the sense of the touch, auditory aids using the sense of hearing, and the electronic aids. So visual aids can magnify words, provide suitable intensity of light and material of the proper distances at a proper distances. And tactual aids including braille, writer, slate, and stylus helps the visually challenged persons in taking notes, reading, and writing. Auditory aids include cassettes, tape recorders, talking books, okay, other such devices. Electronic aids such as talking calculators are also available for performing many computational tasks. So closed circuit televisions also an electronic aid enlarges the printed material with a suitable contrast and illuminations. Nowadays, the use of audio CDs and voice boxes with the computers are also very helpful for listening to and writing the desired text. Okay. So last topic of this lesson is about the Louis Braille. Actually, he's a scientist. Okay, the most popular resource of visually challenged person is the Braille. Okay, Braille code is used for common languages, mathematics, and scientific notations. Okay, so Louis Braille was born in 1809 in France. He became blind due to an accident in childhood, and he developed a Braille script. Okay, in 1824, which is very, very useful for blind people. Okay, so here is a about Braille script. This is a diagram of Louis Braille. So this system has 63 raised dot patterns or characters. These characters or patterns represents a letter, a combinations of letters, a common words, or a grammatical signs. Okay, so dots are arranged in cells of 2 vertical rows of 3 dots each, and the reader needs to touch the Braille script to read it. Okay, for example, you can see how this cat is written. Okay, dot dot dash 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 dash. This represents C, and dot dash 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 is A. Similarly, dash dot 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 dash is what for T. So similarly, this is for cat. Okay, and this is for and comma. Okay, this is all about light. Okay, and if you like this video, please don't forget to share with your friends, and for more videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.